Yes. Welcome back to another stream. This is just, hang on, we're missing a man. There we go. There he is. There's a man down there.
I assume it's me.
Yes. Big up everyone. We're back with another transfer roundup. There's loads of news going on, and news right now actually, as we were just about to start this. So we'll get into all that. Before we do, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're heading towards 80,000 subscribers. And we want to try and get that before the start of the season. Right, there's a lot to talk about, boys. Where do we begin?
I say start off with the Bernardo Silva news, which is just breaking right now, and that's that Al Hilal have informed Manchester City that they are ready to pay 70 million euros, which is £60 million, for Bernardo Silva. They're prepared to offer wages of 50 million euros a year to Bernardo Silva. Sources close to the player insist that he's yet to decide from the four options currently available, which is moving to Al Hilal, PSG, Barcelona, or extending his Manchester City contract. So Al Hilal apparently have told Manchester City that they are now ready to pay the 70 million euros. And I guess all they're waiting for now is Bernardo Silva to say, I'm going Saudi, and then it'll be done. Provided that City accept that transfer fee, which, if I was City, I would not accept that transfer fee.
He's worth more than like 60 million quid, 100%. He proved that in the Champions League towards the end of the season, how vital he's been to the squad. And I think we've said this before, but like some people, some like clubs will look at it, and they might not think he's worth that, but to us as a club, that is what he's worth. We value him for what he does for Manchester City. And he was crucial in the lead up.
Is Bernardo Silva worth to you the same amount as Mason Mount is worth? Absolutely not. And he just went for that kind of money there as well.
That is true. That is true. You know what I mean? The market reflects it, innit?
I think you can't ignore the market in these situations. Whether we're trying to be like an honourable club when it comes to pricing and that kind of thing, and giving people good deals, which is something we shouldn't be looking to do. You got to look at the market. You got to look at Declan Rice's move. You got to look at Mason Mount's move. You got to look at all these players' moves. If Al Hilal or whoever it was are coming in and offering essentially £60 million Bernardo Silva, I'd laugh at them. I wouldn't even open the message. I'd say that's not going to run. Come back with a refined offer, and we might have a chat.
The problem that you've got is that all clubs in Europe are broke, bar like 2 or 3 clubs, excluding England. Obviously, all clubs in England have a lot of cash, but all clubs in Europe, bar like PSG and Real Madrid, and maybe like a couple of others, they're all broke. So you're never going to get the value for Bernardo Silva unless you sell him to a Premier League club or you sell him to PSG, maybe Real Madrid, right? The exception to that is if you go outside Europe and you go to Saudi Arabia. But if you go into Saudi Arabia, I'm wanting Premier League money. I'm wanting like 90 million quid, 100 million quid for Bernardo Silva, because that's what he's worth in the sort of England sort of transfer value. You know what I mean? Whereas if he goes to like Bayern Munich, you're never going to get that. You're going to have to accept a 70 or 80 million quid. But we're not talking about Bayern Munich. We're talking about Saudi Arabia, some of the richest people on the planet.
Yeah, why should we be doing like a cut deal for them? Do you know what I mean? Exactly. We should be signing at the exact same price we would be to any other of our rivals in the Prem, like you say. We should 100% be signing for big cash.
It's not our fault that clubs in Europe are broke. Like, we shouldn't have to readjust our prices because other clubs can't afford to pay them.
But you do have to do that, because otherwise you won't sell the player. So that's what I'm saying. You either have to take because that's what England is right now, yeah. Because England has so much money, we overpay for players from outside of England and even within England, because everyone knows we've got so much money. And then when we sell players, we never get the true value unless we sell it to an English club. So that's why if you're selling it to Saudi Arabia, you have to get the value because they have the cash. They're playing on half terms now because they've got the money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we're clearly not desperate to sell Bernardo Silva. We're not looking to offload him. Maybe for a Cancelo, for a Laporte, or someone who we're kind of at terms with parting ways, you could start to, renegotiate prices. But for a player that we would much rather have in our squad next season, we shouldn't have to. A problem for us shouldn't be the fact that other clubs are broke. And you know how when we approach other clubs, as you kind of referenced there, they know we have mega cash, so they'll give us essentially a Manchester City price. If we're looking for a player, they'll go, City have mega dough, so we'll give them a price that we think City can pay. We have to do that with Saudi Arabia. We know Saudi Arabia have stupid money, so they should have to pay stupid money to get an integral treble winning player. I think there's no way City should be cutting themselves short here for a player that I think we can all agree we'd much rather have in our starting 11 next season than see let go for 65, 70 million pounds.
It's just the only way that I can see this being a bit weird for Bernardo, and in a way, I feel bad for him because like if he does want to leave as much as like we don't really know how much he wants to leave. But say he does really want to go, yeah. Like for the past couple of years, he's kind of like said, yeah, I want to leave, and City kind of set a price tag, and that price tag at the start was around 60 million, and then but every year he just does sick. So the price goes up, and the market, the way that the valuation of players is going up. So every year, Bernardo, as much as he's getting to what, like, he's getting closer to the end of his contract, he's still got a long time left, and the price is getting higher. So, like, now, he's not that £60 million. So, like, a few years ago, City might have gone to Bernardo Silva and said, yeah, get us £60 million, and we'll let you go. But now, City shouldn't be accepting £60 million because the market's gone up, and I personally feel like the valuation of Bernardo's gone up because of how good he's been. So
well, you know,
I feel bad for him, and he might get frustrated at that though, innit? Because he might be like, "Look, here's a £60 million offer," but it's like City can't cut it short now. Like it's not our fault that Bernardo's been sick. But then at the same time, you don't want him to stay and be shit.
He can't be angry at the fact that he's got a contract. He signed the contract. No one forced him to sign a contract. If he felt that there was potential for in 12 months, 24 months time after he signed that contract, he wouldn't want to be there. Don't sign the contract. That's basics of signing contracts. You think about how long you're signing for and how long you're staying. And you're right when you say this about how his stocks have risen pretty well every year since he signed his last contract. If you remember, I think it was 2 summers ago, and we did say to him, go and get us a £60 million offer and we'll let you go. I think it was AC Milan came in with £40 million. That never went through. It didn't run. But since then, he's absolutely smashed it. So we can't cut ourselves short. The fact of the matter is we can't feel sorry for Bernardo Silva deciding he doesn't want to be here anymore, even though he signed a contract to be here, and start giving him cut deal prices. I love Bernardo Silva, but the club is a business and he's an asset to the business. You know what I mean? Like, what if every player signs a contract at 2028, 2029, and then by 2026 decides, oh, I'd like to leave, but no one has the money to buy me. Can you give me a good deal? No. Like be stern, man.
Yeah, I think we need to hold out, and hold out for Al Hilal to pay up the money that we want.
It's a piss take if Mason Mount signs for Man United for similar money that Bernardo Silva goes anywhere. It's an absolute joke. You're talking about stratospheres apart in terms of quality of the asset.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't see it. I think that's a bad look for Manchester City, who are someone who prides themselves on doing good business generally.
Yeah, especially when we know like how we was in before. To another club like in Europe, you can kind of see why they'd come in with a £60 million bid. But for Al Hilal, we need to hold out because we know that they've got the money. We know that they've got that money, and as LB said before, they should be paying what we'd expect a Premier League rival to pay. So that's literally just come out now, by the way. People in the chat, that's literally just come out. That's why it's not in the title. That's why we started with that. Quickly, this ain't like a long-winded thing. GVARDIOL again. It's moving a bit slow now. It's chugging along very slowly. They seem to have stalled a little bit.
You know what? I've got a thought on this. I don't think it's stalled. I think the deal's pretty much done.
Do you think it's just kept under wraps completely?
I think it's a done deal, and I think Leipzig are waiting until they can get a replacement.
Oh, yeah.
And I reckon City are waiting until they've got the Laporte thing done. But I reckon this is pretty much a done deal now.
That makes sense, because Leipzig might be like, yo, hold off on any announcement, because then we're going to have to pay cash for a replacement for GVARDIOL. And apparently they've been in talks with a few players. There was a Leipzig source before who said that it's a done deal.
I think it's done. I think they're just literally just waiting for the port. Because remember, the problem you got is if City twofold, right? Leipzig, they've got the problem that if they get this GVARDIOL deal over the line, everyone knows they got £86 million in the bank account. So that doesn't help them. Whereas if they get someone now, everyone kind of knows what GVARDIOL's doing, but they could sort of be like, we've not got the cash, so we just, they can use that to their advantage. And likewise with Laporte, if we get GVARDIOL in, everybody knows that we've got 6 centre-backs. You can't sit there and say, I demand high cash for Laporte. Otherwise, he's not going. Because then other clubs will be like, all right, and keep him then, see how that goes. Because now you've got 6 centre-backs like your club. Are you going to do that? Are you going to manage that? You know what I'm saying? So I think the deal is pretty much done. And I think they're just waiting. Both clubs have sort of made a gentleman's agreement to say, you get your centre-back signed, we'll sell Laporte, Bob's your uncle. The ideal situation is, why don't Leipzig try and sign Laporte? Then
that's a shout, actually.
You have the solution. But, I think the deal's done. I think the deal is a done deal. Because the reason I also think that is, in my head, there is absolutely no way that City went into this deal without knowing that they're going to have to pay £86 million. Because the last 18 months, all we've heard from Leipzig sources is that they want to make GVARDIOL the most expensive defender in world football.
Yeah.
And City, I think City would value GVARDIOL at £86 million. I think they'll happily pay that. So I don't think they've gone into this thinking, oh, we'll knock them down. I reckon they've gone into this thinking, we're probably going to have to pay £86 million. And they've all the personal terms are done. So I just think it's a matter of time. I think GVARDIOL is pretty much a done deal.
I think.
They're also saying that Leipzig are in the market for another defender right now as well. So it all kind of lines up to what you're saying. Leipzig are trying to get a deal done quickly so they can announce. It also smooths it over for the Leipzig fans, doesn't it? Like if they're about to lose their hottest prospect, here's a new toy as well. So it kind of smooths it over. So I think it's done as well. I can't see this not going through.
Yeah, I think that's honestly, I didn't even in my head. I didn't even put that perspective on it. But that's a great shout.
Low key, I actually think that £86 million for GVARDIOL isn't even a bad deal.
I think it'll prove that it is a very good deal.
I think that is a deal that, like, you know, with the Grealish thing when we paid £100 million, like even now you look back at it and say, yeah, we was never worth £100 million. I think you look at GVARDIOL and go £86 million. I think that is actually a good price. Look, it's still overpaying a little bit clearly, but I don't think it's one of them where you go, fucking hell, they've overpaid. I reckon people look at it and go, you know what? That looks like a good deal to me. He's 21, he's fast, he's good on the ball, he's good in the air, he's strong, he's physical, he's a good defender one-on-one. He's only 21. He
got ranked as second best defender in the world, didn't he?
Yeah, I just think it's a good deal, man.
So I think it's a good deal. I think I'm actually gassed for it as well. I'm gassed for it. I'm gassed for this. Like I'm gassed for him to be alongside Ruben Diaz. I think it'd be sick. Yeah, because also Leipzig are interested in, is he called Luke Eber? Luke Eber, that was his name, from Lyon. So apparently they're trying to sign him. So they'll try and sign him rapid, and then we'll get the deal over the line. Not sure on time frames or anything like that, or how long it's going to take, but
they have to move quick. They have to move quick. Both teams need to move quick. Leipzig in particular need to move quick. They need to get the signing quickly. The Laporte one, I think City have accepted that we're going to get shafted on the fee. So yeah, I would imagine it's more, ideally, City want rid of Laporte, they want their defender in, but I think it's more Leipzig are saying, can we just wait until we get our defender in and then we can make this move happen? So I think as soon as they get their guy in, I think the deal will go through.
Yeah,
I agree.
Peyton, Yeshes Peyton with a 16-month membership says, Yeshes boys, I need GVARDIOL done ASAP. Unfortunately, I feel as if Bernardo and Mahrez are gone. So with that being said, who would replace them in your opinion?
Well, why does Peyton think that Mahrez is gone?
I don't know. I've not seen anything on Mahrez for film.
Someone said in the chat that he's announced that he's kind of alluded to or announced that he's staying at City.
Yeah, I don't think Mahrez will go. And I think actually if Bernardo Silva goes, I think Mahrez will want to stay because then he's only got Foden to deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he'll play a lot of games for City if Bernardo goes.
Loads of game time.
So I think Mahrez. I have a feeling that Mahrez will have one more season, and I think he'll go next year.
I can see that. Will he have a year left then as well?
I think so. I think I'll have 1 year left on his deal. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's around that anyway, and it's around that that kind of time frame. But yeah, I agree. I think that's what he'll do. Austin King with a 28-month share says Austin, mate. He says all three together, love to see it. Yeah, boy. The Three Musketeers, isn't it? Is that it? Is that a thing? No.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah.
No, but I mean, like, no one calls that, innit? Like,
well, you have now. That's the thing now.
Yeah, I've started something there, which I wish I didn't. CB says threesome. You can't be going about saying that, mate. Not at this time, anyway. The watershed's not happened yet. There is, speaking about centre-backs then, there is some Laporte news. Juventus offering €30 million for Laporte, which obviously, what's that, like 24 million or something?
Just a joke, man.
I don't understand people's valuation of Laporte. Like, I get that City accept that they're going to get shafted, yeah? And like you just said then, that's why I'm leading on to this bit. I get that, but I just don't... I think he's worth so much. He's one of the best centre-backs. He is one of the best centre-backs in world football. He is. He walks into most teams in the world.
It's the conundrum of the fact that clubs know City are trying to offload a defender. That's the primary reason that we're going to be shafted.
It is, bro. It is. But also at the same time, if that was true, you'd have a load of clubs queuing up around the block for his signature and therefore pushing up the price. And that isn't happening. So you've got to ask the question, why are these clubs around Europe not interested in Laporte?
Why don't no one respecting Laporte, innit?
Well, have we had an official bid come in for Laporte from anybody?
No, I don't think so. I'm not seeing anything.
Well, so my feeling is that it'll be another domino ripple effect. Someone will put in a bid. It'll be either accepted and he goes, or it'll be rejected. And then the rest of world football, who potentially, like you're saying, should be interested in Laporte, will have a bit of an idea as to what the price range we're talking about is for Laporte. And then they can decide how they want to come in from. Because no one really knows what City would be willing to negotiate for Laporte for. No one really knows what kind of price we're talking. I think the three of us can agree he's probably a 60, 70 million pound defender in today's market. But as we're seeing with Juventus, they're about to offer 30 million euro, which is, if even, 20 million pounds, which is actually just frightening when you think about selling, what is he, a 5-time Premier League winning, Champions League winning, treble winning, the integral to last season's Premier League winning centre half for 22 million pounds. No one knows.
It's stupid. It's disrespectful in one sense, like how they're going like that. Steve in the chat there says selling Trafford for 19 mil and Laporte for 30 mil. Do you know what I mean? And it's not even 30 mil; it's 30 million euro there, isn't it? So if I mean Trafford and Laporte around the similar price, it doesn't make sense.
The problem that we have is, obviously, everybody knows that Laporte and Pep have clearly don't see eye to eye on things, and that Laporte his time is up at Manchester City, hence the GVARDIOL signing. And the issue that you've got is if there's not a load of clubs queuing around the block for Laporte's signature, which at this moment in time looks to be the case, and you've only got one or two clubs, and at the moment it only looks like Juventus. Juventus can literally just lowball the shit out of City and be like 20 million. And City be like, no. And then Juventus say, well, all right, we don't really need him anyway. We don't really want him. We just fancy signing him. And then City are kind of like, well, what do we do? Do we sell him for 20 million? Do we keep him? And he's going to be unhappy, potentially cause issues. We don't know. He'll never play football. What's the point? You might as well just get the 20 million. Do you loan him out and get loan fees in? Hope that he has a good season and sell him next year. But who knows? Maybe he won't have a good season and maybe his value will go down even more.
But then isn't it, he'll only have 1 year left on his contract at that point, I think.
Well, exactly. That's why you're kind of banking on, hoping that he has a good season this year.
Hoping he smashes it. Yeah, it is.
What does City do? City in a pretty mad situation here. I don't know. I don't know what you even do.
I think if we can't get the valuation a decent valuation for him, I think you got to loan him out. We can't keep him.
I wouldn't be against loaning him out. I mean, you see some of these loan fees that are being paid for players, like 5, 6, 7 million quid just for a loan fee. If City could get £5 million on a loan fee, loan him to a Champions League team where he's going to play every single week, I'm pretty sure he can put in some good performances. And by this time next year, you could be selling him, even with 1 year left on his contract, for 40, 45 million quid. And I think that might be the best way to go about it. But obviously, if you do get a bid of 45, 50 million quid from this summer, you might as well just take the cash. But if you get, I'd rather loan him out and take my chances if we're going to sell him for 20 million, 25 million. I just think that's just disgraceful. It's an insult to him. It's an insult to Manchester City. I'd rather loan him out and just take the chance.
I agree. It's taking the piss, and I don't think City should be moving like that. I think you just go, yep, loan him out. I'd rather do that than accept 20 mil. 20 mil's a joke, man. Dash Besh with a 10 month says, lack of interest in Laporte for top clubs is a disgrace. If he's playing for lower half Premier League team, clubs will be bidding 50 million plus for him easily. I genuinely, I don't know what it is, man. There's not even links. There's no rumours or anything. It's quieter than the Bernardo one.
I just wonder, are clubs like intimidated to come and negotiate with Manchester City because of how high all of our players' stocks are? Like, clubs will feel like, why would we go and try and get a player from the current treble champions of Europe, who their players will cost a bomb, where we can go somewhere else and try and find another player for cheaper? I just don't know what it is. It doesn't make sense how nobody's come in with a proper offer for Bernardo Silva and a respectable offer for Laporte.
I think Laporte. I think City are accepting to take a little bit of an L on the Laporte price. I think you could probably get him for like 50 mil, something like that, or 45 mil, something around that price. You could probably get him for that. But to come in with a 30 million euro bid, like, you're not going to get him for that. That's so low. But I think City would be happy to take like a 50 million pound. I think they'll just go, yeah, because they just want rid of him. So I don't get why clubs aren't looking at it and going, look, this is one of the best centre backs in the world, and we can get him for a relatively good fee here.
He's only 29 as well. He's still got years in the bank. Like, you're not getting him for 2-3 years. You could have him for 5 or 6 at 29 years old.
CB in the chat there says, what if Laporte wants to fight for a spot on the team? It's too late, mate. He had the chance to fight for a spot on the team in last season. That chance has now gone because we're replacing him.
If that was going to happen, bro, we wouldn't be signing GVARDIOL, mate.
It's Vardiol's place now.
Yeah, he's unfortunately Laporte's time at City is done. Which it just is what it is. I don't know. Quinn with 11 months says, so LB and Jordan, next time you come to Ireland, you should get Mr. Hugh to bring you to watch the champions of Ireland, Shamrock Rovers.
Nope.
Nope.
I always forget what team you support here.
It's the Bows, isn't it?
Exactly. Well,
is it? No, it's not, because when I say up the balls, that guy nasty, innit? You know what I mean? On TikTok and Instagram reels. I thought you said that's not the one. So up the balls, that's not the one. No, that is the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Balls.
So you were nasty like this.
I sat in front of Nasty in a game a couple of weeks ago.
Yo, tell him, man. Tell him when I'm in my bed, at night time, and you just got on your phone and you're scrolling through the videos. Yeah, I always get his Chinese spice bags up, man. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh man,
where's he going with this? When I'm in my bed at night time, I was like, what am I doing?
Do you not do that when you get in bed? I just go on your phone, scroll through the fucking videos. Man.
Yeah, I'll pass on the message to Nasty. I'll say, LB watches your spice bag videos at night time in his bed.
Yeah.
Nah, do you mind?
It gets spicy, bro.
LB doing the nasty, innit?
No, I can confirm, Adam Quinn, they will not be going anywhere near that shithole.
Oh, he's sending for you, Adam, mate.
Oh,
he's sending. Yo,
holy, bro. Holy.
Yo, Hugh, man. Put the AK down, bro.
Nah, it's not even in Dublin, man. Shamrock Rovers aren't even in Dublin. They're Wicklow.
Fake club, innit?
Fake club, yeah. They essentially are, though, the Manchester City of Ireland. Like, they've all the cash, they win all the leagues. Like, it's their league. But fuck them anyway. No, listen, I don't actually care on that level.
It's funny because me and John have no idea.
Yeah, you're basically speaking a different language now. You're speaking Irish, innit? Like, I don't know what you're talking about, innit?
Will I teach you some Irish live on stream? Just a really quick phrase.
Well then.
Right? So you want to say, my name is...
Yeah.
No. On Mum's life, this is genuine Irish. My name is LB, yeah?
Nah.
No? You don't want to say that?
Nah, bro, I don't trust you in it.
Why don't you trust me?
Go on, tell us it. What do you say? What do you say?
LB is anum dum. Say it.
Nah.
That doesn't sound like LB is my name.
Nah,
LB is setting you up
I'll
here, bro.
I'll say. Clip this. Hugh is anum dum. Hugh's my name.
Geordie Poddy is anum dum.
My name is Geordie Porty.
I've just cancelled myself, innit?
And I put kids.
Oh no.
No. It genuinely, on God, it means Geordie Porty is my name. Look it up. Translate.
That's
the
pretty.
gather is on the way, bro.
No. Chat. There has to be someone in the chat speaks Irish. Please back me up here. I'm telling truths.
I mean, Dennis put LB is anum dum. Geordie Poddy is anum dum.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, that's the Irish lesson out the way. That's your Irish 5 minutes with Hugh. Nabil with a 6 month says, I'm so bored out of my head, boys. I need football back. My perfect summer business would be GVARDIOL, Florian Wirtz, and a winger. I highly rate Thiago Almada, by the way.
Yeah, the Americans, when I did that video about Thiago Almada, some of our American viewers got in the comments said he's a gem, and they can't understand why he's still in the MLS.
He's in the MLS?
So I've never seen him.
I didn't know that.
He plays for Atlanta United, Johnny Lara's team.
Yeah, that's pretty mad, that. I didn't know that. That's pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, like, there were rumours, innit? There were rumours that City were looking at him. So I wonder how far that'll go. I guess, again, it still hinges on Bernardo's decision, I think. We've got to wait and see what the situation is with that. Big up all the people for the member chats, by the way. Massively appreciated. There is more news. Moving on from Centre Back FC to Right Back FC. Kyle Walker's name's getting mentioned again with Harry Kane. Apparently Bayern are trying to make it like a double deal for both of them, and basically they're probably saying to Walker, look, you and Kane can come here, saying to Kane, look, you and Walker to come here, kind of thing, but basically selling it to them both as they're both going to Bayern Munich, even though no decision's been made. And now I think, am I right in saying Bayern have submitted another offer for Kane?
Yeah, I believe Scott, we couldn't be rejected. Bayern Munich are not going to get Kane, man. They're getting Kane. They're miles off. Tottenham are going to sell Kane for like at least 100 mil.
Yeah, I reckon
like 30 million off.
Look at the amount of goals he scored in the last season, bro. Like he's you're not getting him on a cut price. You're not getting him for 80 mil. Like even if he's got 1 year left.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll both end up staying. I think Kane will stay at Tottenham. I think Walker will stay at City.
Yeah, well, Fabrizio Romano came out yesterday and said Kyle Walker will make a final decision on his future very soon. City have offered him a new deal to be an important part of the project as Cancelo's going to leave. Bayern Munich are pushing to sign Cancelo. Walker as one of their priority targets this summer.
I think he'll end up staying, man.
So I hope he stays because I don't want to lose Walker. Obviously, he's a part of the captain's side. I rate him highly. I think he's minting in this team. He did bits towards the end of the season. He might be a little bit pissy about the fact that he didn't start the Champions League final, but doesn't mean that he's not going to play next season.
Yeah, and we've already been through this. If you actually look at his fixtures, he played in a lot of games.
It felt like he didn't, but he did play loads.
He played against United. He played in like a lot of the Premier League games towards the end when we needed to win. The only game he didn't play in was the final of the Champions League. So it's not like he was an outcast towards the end. He just didn't play in the biggest game of the season, but he still played against United. He still played in the Premier League games. And, you know, the facts are the guy's 33. You know what I mean? So he's not going to be playing in every single game. And he needs to understand, that, like, this system that we play in, there will be periods that you won't play, but he still played quite a lot of minutes last year, considering that everyone was like, oh, he hardly played. He still played, like, let me have a look actually how many minutes he played. Last season, he played in total 2,700 minutes. And he was injured for like quite a lot of the season. He was injured for like over a month, wasn't he? So he was injured from October to first week in October to like midweek in November, and then he took a couple of weeks for him to get back into the team after that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a bit of a myth with Walker. People are like, "Oh, he never played last year, so he wants to leave." What? Actually, look at the facts, and he actually played a lot. I don't know where that's come from.
Yeah,
I think he's just using this Bayern deal as leverage to get the new deal off City.
Good comment. I agree.
I mean, you look at his situation. He's 33. I think he has a partner anyway. He definitely has kids. He lives next door to Phil Foden. At this stage in his life, does he really want to up sticks everything and move to Germany? Personally, I wouldn't want to do that when you have a great life in Manchester. I think he's just looking for his new deal off City. I think they should give it to him. I think they will give it to him.
Yeah, they want big cash in it. I mean, he deserves big cash, to be fair. But I say give it him, man.
And like I said on previous streams, man, he could just get a 2-year contract or extend his what's he contracted until now? Next year, 2024. Contract extension until 2026. That's a couple of seasons. And then
Sheffield.
I still believe that by the time that contract comes up, that City could still be offered him a new deal because I think Kyle Walker could play until he's 38, 39. You've seen Ashley Young today. He's 38 years old, being linked with a move to Everton. Kyle Walker is an athlete. He could still be playing in the Premier League till he's 38, 39. The last thing that he wants to do is think, I'm 33, I'm going to get off because my seat. Nah, you're not that guy. You're a player who can go until you're 38, 39. And as I've mentioned before, if and when maybe right back is not the possibility for him anymore, he can just slot into a centre-back position because he's done it before. So you don't want to be too rash. You know, I know he's probably a bit frustrated that he didn't play the final. And I know obviously Pep said he can't play in the sort of John Stones, Rico Lewis role, which he can't, and that might have pissed him off. But the facts are the facts. You're still playing a lot of football. You're a very, very valued member of the team. The fans love you. And ultimately, from my point of view, if we're coming up against Kylian Mbappe or Vinny Jr., Kyle Walker's the first name on the team sheet.
Completely agree. Completely agree. I think it makes sense for City to sign him on a 2-year deal. I think a 2-year deal would be good, and I think that's what he wants. We'll have to wait and see about that. But apparently, he's making his decision soon. I seen things saying this week.
He'll sign a new deal.
Yeah.
You both agree he's signing a new deal?
Yeah. I don't see Walker leaving.
What's he on? What's his wage? Do we know what his wage is?
I'd say he's on a good 200.
Yeah, I reckon 200. 180.
Let's have a look at his wages. Okay, according to Spot Track or Spo Track, is on 160k. So I reckon boost that up to 200. Put him above a Kanji because he should be above a Kanji in all fairness. John Stones is on 250, a bit below John Stones. Yeah, 200, 220.
I'd say around like 220ish. Get him on 220. I reckon he'd take that. Nice little boost on his contract, extra 60 grand there.
And bro, at the moment, the guy's just farming trophies right now. He's won 5 Premier Leagues. He's won a Champions League, 4 Carabao Cups, 2 FA Cups. He's won two Community Shields. The guy went through his whole career winning fuck all at Spurs. Like, bro, the guy just needs to farm, man. And that's what he went
from winning fuck all his career to basically winning it all.
Yeah,
he's one of the most successful English players of all time now, for sure.
Yeah.
Guys won't bear, man. Guys won't bear. King Howard will go with the 2 there. Says if Walker leaves, Laporte plays centre back and Akanji right back. Laporte's gone, man. People need to not hold on to the Laporte idea. If Walker leaves, I don't see Laporte staying still. Laporte is
it's done.
Yeah, Laporte. Yeah, that is a chance though. That is a shout even to who.
Yeah, just quickly, by the way, if Kyle Walker wins another Premier League, he'll move on to 6, and he'll be joint with Rio Ferdinand, Solskjaer, Phil Neville, Nicky Butt, and Beckham.
Phil Neville?
Yeah, Phil Neville did 6 as well.
That's pretty bad.
So, you know, he's up there with some of the best. I mean, the only players that would be above him if he won 6 would be Roy Keane, Dennis Irwin, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, and Ryan Giggs.
That's mad.
Like you're up there with like Premier League royalty, and you for the first half of your career, you didn't even win anything.
Yeah, that's pretty mad. That.
And the thing is, bro, if he signs another 2-year contract, right? So he's got 1 year now. Do a 2-year extension, so 3 years. City could win 2 out of the next 3 Prems.
Yeah,
easy. He could be joint. Yeah, exactly. He could be joint with Dennis Irwin and Roy Keane. 1 behind Gary Neville. It'd be the 4th most won Premier Leagues out of any player ever. Like, he's got to stay, man. He's got to stay and just keep farming these Prems.
Yeah. And
who knows? I mean, the thing is, he's also in the captain's group, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he's also got a shot maybe one day of being a captain. Who knows what will happen?
Sometimes he is captain, isn't he, as well? Like, when the main Donnies aren't playing. You've seen Walker with the armband before, like, plenty of times. So
I know we all want Diaz to be captain, but that's not the way City move. You know, City do this weird thing where it's just like, oh, the next oldest person or whatever. So, you know, it's probably going to be Kev. And after Kev, you know, or if Kev gets injured, you know, Walker could be leading that. He could be lifting trophies for this club. So I just think I think he will stay. And I want him to stay because, you know, I don't want him to go.
Yeah, I completely agree. NBA Fan TV with 32 months. Yes, mate. That's a long time. Says, funny how Javier Tabas calls state-back teams as ruining football. Prem generates 2 times revenue. Our bottom half teams can afford Laporte. Low ballers.
Well, that's because their TV rights are fucked. So
it's a mess, isn't it? It's a mess. Farhad Jess with a 729 says, if I am Walker, I'd prefer to stay at City and win trophies. Yeah, why not? I mean, sure, as a player, you want to win things. His best chance of winning things is at City. And yes, as a player, you do want to play football. But as we've already debunked the myth that he didn't play football last year, he is still playing football. So, I know. The contract's on the table for him anyway, so it's up to him whether he wants to sign it. And as we've all said, we think he'll stay. Now there's a Borges news. A lot of people have been speaking about Carlos Borges, about how they want him to be a winger, how they want him to come into the City side. I think LB, you've said for quite a while now that Borges is like not staying, basically. Like in your opinion, like not staying. Obviously, he's had no. There's been nothing to say that he'd want to stay at City. There's nothing to say that Pep wants him in at City either, because even when like we were playing them dead Champions League games and we were taking academy players, we didn't take Borges and he was completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Does Pep see something that we don't see? Do you know what I mean? Like where Borges just there's something about him that he doesn't like. I don't know, man. He looks sick though.
I have a theory. I have a theory on the Borges situation. I think one of the lads in the Avengers show kind of referenced it. I think it was on that show anyway, how we have changed or Pep has changed the type of winger in which he wants entirely.
Yeah, not pacey bad boy.
Yeah, Pep no longer wants like a prime Raheem Sterling. He no longer wants a prime Leroy Sané who'll, get him behind and run directly at fullbacks and centre halves and, electric, really exciting stuff. He now wants those ball retainers like a Mahrez, like a Grealish, like a Foden. Whereas Borges, if you watch him, his whole style of play is electric, run aggressively directly with the ball, take on fullbacks, take on defenders and try to get through on goal, which is kind of, it's opposite to what Pep wants. Now maybe Borges hasn't shown enough that he can refine his game and become a ball retainer, or maybe he's decided that's not what he wants to do and he'd like to go somewhere where he can be, the explosive, almost Mbappe-esque type winger. It just doesn't fit in with our system. And that's the feeling I get. You see players like Alexander Robertson getting in. We're showing interest in potentially giving James McAtee a future. I don't know what kind of future, but these are all ball retainers. These are guys who'll keep the ball, keep the move flowing from Man City. Borges doesn't do that. He's more of a traditional explosive winger. That's my only conclusion I can come to, because he is a class act.
Yeah, and bro, at the end of the day, City are going to get a good fee out of this. They're going to get 10 million quid plus a 20% sell-on clause. See why they do it.
On that, the Athletic are reporting that it's Nottingham Forest apparently who are interested in Borges. There's been no talks yet, but apparently he's valued in the region of, like you say, there 10 mil. There's also Dortmund are interested, which we've known for a long time that Dortmund are interested in it.
People need to get their head over this fucking thing. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people moaning, man, depressing, like, oh, we shouldn't be selling these academy players. Like, oh, what the fuck, bro? Listen, Lavia, yeah, what we selling for? 14 million quid, right? He played 27 minutes for our football club in the first team, I think. If you check transfer market, you got a 20% sell-on clause. You're going to be sold for 50 million. That's 10 million. You're getting £24 million for a player that played 27 minutes for your football club. No club in the right mind is ever turning that deal down. James Trafford, people are like, we should keep him. He can push Edison. First of all, the guy don't want to sit on a bench. He wants to play football, right? He's selling for upwards of 19 million quid, right? And again, 20% sell-on clause. Let's say he goes in a couple of years for, 40 million. That's 8 million. That's 28 million pounds for a player that's never played for your football club. If people are thinking, that we're going to keep these players around because they've got a future, or if they've got a future, we'll buy them back. Because there's a buyback clause in there.
Buybacks in all these deals.
But there's no chance this football club is going to turn down the potential of getting £30 million for a player that has never even set foot in the Etihad Stadium. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I get it. People want to see these academy players come through. I do as well. But the truth is, when you're getting such good money for these youngsters, no club's ever going to turn that down. It's the same with Borges. It'll be the same with McAtee if we get a deal for him. It'll be the same with Mabude. It's just the way the world works. We can't be turning down £10 million, 12, 13 million pounds, 19 million pounds, plus a 20% sell-on clause for a player that's never even played for the club. Do you think, how much did Phillips cost? 40 mil.
Yeah.
We could be potentially getting £24 million for Lavia, who played 27 minutes for our football club.
Yeah.
And we got a proven Premier League player. I mean, I know it's not worked, right? Might not be the best example, but I'm just saying it in theory. We got a proven Premier League player, a player who got voted England's player of the tournament and has played in the Premier League for 40 million. And we've now got 24 million.
You've got more than half of that back already off someone who barely even played for the football club.
It's like Trafford, right? It's got 20 million. Let's go. It goes for 40 million. You get 20%. That's 8 million. So you get nearly 30 million quid. How much did we pay for Edison? 38 million, was it?
Yeah, it was around 38 to 40.
So you paid 30. I know it's a couple of years ago. You paid 38 million quid for Edison a few years ago, and now you're getting 30 million back for Trafford a few years later. You've almost got the free Edison payment from a guy who's never even been on the bench for your football club. And like, this is how the academies work. It's designed to make money, and in the event that you get like a world class talent that's rare gem, then you bring them through like we've done with Foden.
Yeah, and the thing is, the bar set quite high to get into this Manchester City team. So with these players, it does make sense, and especially since they brought in that the loan rule. There's a rule of how many players you can loan out in there nowadays. So that's why we're just selling these players with buybacks.
Look at our net spend, bro.
We'll get a buyback.
Look at our net spend. Our net spend in the last 2 years, we made profit. You know what I mean? If you look at these graphs that this Blue City Brian guy's making on Twitter, have you seen them? They're fucking wild. If you look at our net spend in the last 5 years, we're like 10th out of the whole Premier League.
That's pretty mad.
Like, you've got teams like Brentford above us. Like, they're spending. They've got a bigger net spend than Manchester City. And why? This is because our academy is producing such good talents. We're doing such good business on the buybacks. We're buying these players for like 40 to 50 million quid. I know recently we've maybe gone a little bit higher with like Grealish, and obviously we will with GVARDIOL. But the club's being run very, very well at the moment. And it's sustainable, which, funny enough, is if you go back to when Sheikh Mansour bought the football club back in 2008, they said all from day one that they want to make a sustainable club. And when they were throwing millions of pounds in it, and everyone was going, oh, how come they're spending hundreds of millions? This isn't fair. Why? Because it's called investment. And now what the club is seeing, they're seeing a return on their investment, and we're making profit every year. So, you know, the club's in a brilliant state right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. The academy is a cash cow. That's what it is. The CFG is a cash cow. It's
just, unfortunately, right, it's just not realistic. You've got to understand, this club right now is the best football club in the world. I'm not saying that as a cringy thing. I'm saying that as a fact. We've just won the treble. If you think that you're going to be getting these players through the academy who are just going to constantly be breaking into the first team, you're delusional. We have the best football players in the world.
The standards are so high.
Standards so high, and the players know that.
To get through into the team, into the first team, and dislodge players, the world-class players that we've got in there, then you've got to be something special. You have to be that next best thing to get in.
But what City are doing? So people say, well, why do the academy players join City then if they're never going to play? It's not that you're missing the point. The academy player doesn't join the Manchester City academy to break into the first team. Of course, that's the dream, that's the goal, but realistically, that's unlikely to happen because it's going to take a one in a million. The reason you join Manchester City Academy is because Manchester City Academy can show you a track record of getting these players into the professional game. Okay, you can go and join United, you can go and join Chelsea, you can join Liverpool, whatever. But there's no guarantee that you'll be a professional footballer at the end of it. City can show you that our rate of success of getting academy players into the professional game is very, very high, and that's why the kids are joining the City Academy, because they know that City are going to give them a good career.
We all want to sign the world's best players, and we want to keep in the market for those kind of players. But it's not in City's nature to just take out of our pocket and start throwing money at new signings. You need to fund them. You need to be able to, show on the books where you got the money to pay for these players and that kind of thing. And the academy has proven to be a massive source of income for that sort of thing. Like you've just rattled off so many examples of how it's balanced out. You can throw 2 or 3 academy prices together and it adds up to, one senior player. Like what was it? Kovacic, you could cover that whole fee with, what was it? Trafford, and it was someone else we sold recently. This is unbelievable business. And it's why it's sustainable, and it's why you're seeing other clubs trying to copy our model, like why Newcastle are trying to do it too. Man United, who said they want to switch their academy system and the way they approach things. So if it's working, don't complain. And as I said yesterday, I think to Jordan or on another stream, not everybody can be in our squad. There's only so much room in the squad. You can't hold every single academy player that you think is good enough to play. So you got to let them go. You got to let them go, man.
Yeah. That's it, innit? Someone made a good example there. The cream rises to the top, innit? Like, there you go. Joe, the cream rises to the top and the rest make money. There you go. Perfect way of summing it up. Fahad, with a 729, says he wants Lavia. He'll be gone if he signs to one of the big 6 teams. Yeah, Liverpool were interested in signing him. Did they get a bid rejected or something?
I don't think they put it in a.
They're not putting an official
bid.
No. I know that they were interested anyway. I imagine he will move to the Premier League again. He'll be a big team next year. And Mohammed with a 2 says maybe Pep has told Walker he won't start next season. There is a potential that he said that, but I think he will play a lot of football.
I would just say football changes very quickly. Yeah. And if Pep tells you you're going to be starting tomorrow, or if Pep tells you that you're not going to start in tomorrow, I would just take both of those with a pinch of salt, because you know what Pep Guardiola's like.
Mahrez will score a hat-trick and not start the next game. So
yeah,
I don't think he tells anybody. I don't think he tells anybody.
I don't think he guarantees a spot in this team to a single one of them players.
No.
Other than Erling Haaland, probably. But there's no reason for him to guarantee spots. Like you're only going to cause a problem for yourself further down the line. LJ with a 9 months says the GOAT trio looking forward to sharing another season with you boys. Yes. Says how many trophies do you think will win, if any?
7.
Sextuple.
In fact, 6. I think 6 because we'll probably lose the Community Shield.
Yeah, Community Shield.
Because Pep don't like that, innit? And then boom, we move for the rest. So 6.
Yeah. Is 6 a sextuple? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the sexy tuple, innit? That's what we're going for.
We get that on a t-shirt, man. You got to put that on a City Extra store or something.
Sexy tuple.
Sexy tuple.
We've got to win it first.
Start making them now. Get them printed.
Yeah, get them out there. Sexy tuple. People are like, what does that mean? NBA Fan TV with a 10. Yes, says sales take away the pathway to the first team, and talent will less likely want to come to the academy. A lot come for the allure. Selling constantly shifts that over time, and we stop getting sellable talent.
See, I think you're missing a point, NBA. I think you're missing a point. Well, the way I view the academy, and I think the way that these players will be viewing the academy, is they come into the academy and their main goal, right, isn't their dream is to play for Manchester City, but their goal is to be a professional footballer. Because remember, there's still a lot of players that go through the full academy process at City, at United, or whatever, and then never make it in the professional game. And they've gone through that brilliant footballing education. And by the time they're 24, they're not playing in stadiums. They're in the call centre with us, you know what I mean? Just doing a normal job. That's not their goal. Their goal is to be a professional footballer. So I think that when players are looking at this and they sit down and the parents sit down with City, they go, okay, this is what we can offer you and your kid signing for our academy. There is a very, very small chance that your kid will end up playing for Manchester City. Why? Because we're the best team in the world. We've got the best players in the world, the best manager in the world. And for your child to play for our football club, they are going to have to be an elite level talent up there with like the likes of Kevin De Bruyne when he was a youngster, Haaland scoring 30 goals a season in the academy. That's unlikely because it's so rare. However, what we can offer you and we can evidence is that it's like 95% of all the players that come through our academy go on to have a professional football career.
Yeah, they go on and make it.
And that's why they signed for the City Academy, because they know that they go, look at Shea Charles. You know what I mean? He's in the Northern Ireland team. He's getting a move to Southampton. Why? Because he's been playing for Manchester City, the academy, and they know how good that player can be. And obviously teams that are wanting to play out from the back and play this nice, tidy football, well, if you want to sign young players, you sign it for the team that does it the best. And that team that does it the best right now is Manchester City. So I think you've missed a point slightly in the sense that I think you looking at it as the pathway to the first team. I'm looking at it as the pathway to professional football
career. Yeah.
My view.
Sales pitch LB again, man. This guy.
LB chefing today. You know, he's top chef, isn't it?
You could sell snow to an Eskimo. This guy, man. Snow to an Eskimo. Honestly.
Well, listen, I don't like to brag.
Next time you go on the stream, bro, you got Tim Farrell LB. I want Chef LB. I want one of them chef hats.
Can we get him one of those big hats?
Yeah, one of them big, tall, like chef hats. That's what we need.
And a big pot when he just
big pot for him to cook it up.
Look, but just quickly, by the way. I'd love nothing more for all these academy players to come through and play for my football club. I'd love nothing more. But I'm realistic, and that's not going to happen. So there's no point in hoping and dreaming that, these academy players are going to come through. Like people were talking about Tommy Doyle, saying, Tommy Doyle can play for Manchester City. Nah, it's unrealistic. It's unlikely. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, we all want that to happen. They dream of playing for Manchester City. I guess as Manchester City fans, dream of having an 11 that goes and wins the Champions League, and all 11 players are all from the academy and all from the local area. But it's unrealistic. It's not going to happen.
Very true. King Harlan Real Go to the 2 says, when is the Over the Hedge watch along? I'm obsessed.
You missed it, bro.
Missed it. It already happened, didn't it? It happened.
Not got a notification bell.
We all watched it. It was sick. Still not on.
Sick of this movie. Sick of this movie. Do you know that? I need to stop fucking talking about.
Yeah, when people ask why, he was fuming, isn't it?
It's a kids' movie. Go subscribe to Disney Plus and watch it on your own.
Why roasting LB for?
He's a big man child. He puts goated films, the cartoon kids films, man. Go watch something normal like Love Island.
He does what? To be fair, you watch Love Island, bro.
I do watch Love Island. What are you talking about?
What? He's too busy watching.
What are you talking about? That's funny that.
Oh, fuck that film, man.
Right. Big up to everyone who's super chatted. It's been a good discussion, man. It's been good talking about all these transfers. Hopefully we get some GVARDIOL news in the next couple of days. See where that's going. But like we said before, pretty much done. I think it's already sorted. Maybe an announcement this week would be nice. That'd be nice. And maybe some Bernardo news. We'll have to see where this Saudi deal goes, how far this transfer can go. Hopefully it gets rejected, but I'll have to see, innit?
I'm getting rinsed in the comments now for hating on Over the Hedge. You see how you've brainwashed these people to rate this kid's film? See what you've done here, LB? That tinfoil hat of yours, man.
Well, we just have like open minds. We have like we can watch different genres of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're allowed to watch different things, isn't it?
Just end the stream.
Just end the stream. Right, on that, we're going to end the stream. Big up everyone. We'll be back later on with some more streamable stuff. Hopefully there's news in a bit, which we can talk about and pop off. But big up to everyone. Like the stream if you already haven't. Subscribe to us if you are new. Click the notification bell so you know that when we do the Over the Hedge watch along, because that'll come to you soon. He will be forefronting that as that's his favourite film of all time.
You know what? I'll watch it. I'll watch it this week, and I'll come back to you with a review.
Okay.
How about that? Yeah,
that's a promise, that, isn't it? Right.
I'll be smiling. Yeah,
because he's won. He's won. He's won.
My cult has taken over. He says it's working.
Right. See you in a bit, people. See you in a bit.